Hi there, Sandra here from createinspain, Siser, Juliet, Beginners to Pro, and Laser Love. So someone mentioned today that they wanted to make a stained glass window design and wondered if it was possible to do easily in Shortcut Lot. Well, the answer is yes, it actually is, and probably not in quite the way that you would expect to do it. So I have all these shapes here, just miscellaneous shapes, and what I regard as a frame. And the reason I'm going to be doing it this way is because you don't always want all your shapes to have exactly the same depth of outline. You'll get the idea in a moment. So at the moment, all these things are going to cut, but they're only going to cut single line. It's definitely not going to look like a stained glass window when it is finished. If you actually want to do a stained glass look design with the heavy black lines and things like that, there's a couple of different ways of doing it. One way is to select your shape, to go to Effects, to add a shadow layer, and choose the type of shadow you want, and then boom, do that, and then take one shape away from the other, path exclude, and then you'll end up with your double line. But there is another way of doing it which you may not have thought about, and that's what I'm going to show you. So I'm going to select this line here, this outer one, and I'm going to go over here to the fill and stroke, and I'm going to increase the width of the stroke like so. Going to do it with all of these shapes to a varying degree. And for example, if you want this one to not be floating around somewhere, you'd want to pull it to the edge. But basically you would want your shapes to be as you expect them to look. Once you've done that, all you do is you select it, you go to File, you go to Export, and you put in a name for it, and you save it not as an SVG but as a PNG. And then you go to Save, and it will save it like so. Now I'm going to pull this one to one side, and you can see that all these things are single line. They are not going to cut as you would see them here. Okay, they're single line. But if you go to the trace function, you choose your image, you go find test PNG, and you do a trace on here. Now you can add an image layer if you so wish for a print and cut, or maybe for a guide, whatever it is that you want, but you don't have to. You might want it as a visual guide so that you can print it off, colour in various bits and see what it looks like. But you just click on OK, go to No, and then this one you can see has all the lines joined. If I take out the colour in here, you'll be able to see it more clearly. So it has all the overlapping lines, it has all the areas that you want if you are doing a stained glass design. So the other way you can get stained glass design is to use the brush, because the brush will give you a different look. You see, that will give you a double line, but I always find it very difficult to use that kind of thing on a laptop or a desktop because I don't have a drawing pad for that. I'll always do that kind of thing on my iPad in Procreate or something like that. But that is how you get the effect, and it's very easy to do. Also quite handy to realise that when you're doing stencils, because some stencil designs are more easily done in that method. So there we go. Hope you found that useful. I'll see you again soon. Take care now.